Training camp has not even started, and one Patriots mistake could become a massive problem. Drake Maye's protection needs answers. Two receivers could be pushed out. Christian Gonzalez is watching a market ready to explode, and New England's leading pass rusher opens camp without medical clearance. That is not panic, that is accountability. The Patriots won the AFC, so every decision must be judged by a January standard. Today we separate smart patience from dangerous hesitation. Subscribe because nobody gets a free pass when the Patriots' future is on the line. 14 pressures are not a minor footnote. That number forces a left tackle to spend the offseason taking a hard look at his own game. Before the knee injury, Will Campbell showed he could anchor Drake Maye's protection. Later, while recovering against elite opponents, his technical flaws appeared at the worst time. New England's response was firm. Campbell stays at tackle. No move to guard. No rushed judgment after the Super Bowl. Now he must prove that trust was earned. The standard is brutal, and it should be. During the 2025 regular season, Maye completed an NFL-best 72% of his passes for 4,394 yards, 31 touchdowns, and only 8 interceptions. He also led the league with 8.9 yards per attempt and a 113.5 passer rating while taking the Patriots to 13 wins. Give him time, and he tears defenses apart. In the playoffs, that machine lost its force. New England averaged 16.8 points per game and posted the lowest EPA per play by a Super Bowl participant since the 2001 Patriots, according to the team's own analysis. Maye was dealing with a right shoulder injury. Campbell still felt the effects of his knee injury. That explains part of the decline, but not the warning. January turns every surrendered inch into an opening. Campbell's anchor remains the biggest technical issue. On some vertical sets, he gave rushers room to turn speed into power. His size and athleticism can save a rep against average players. Against the best, a high base or exposed chest sends the quarterback backward before the read develops. Nobody serious expects instant perfection. I want visible progress. Quicker hands, stronger hips, better contact absorption, and real trust in that knee. The Patriots saw enormous upside before the injury. Betting on development is not passive if Campbell improves. It becomes negligence only if those same flaws survive camp. New England has decided where he plays. The real verdict arrives when power attacks Maye's blind side again. Campbell must stop surviving the league's best rushers and start beating them. A serious roster does not cut a receiver because his name has lost some shine. It cuts him when his role no longer earns the spot. That is why this camp could be ruthless for DeMario Douglas. Trading for A.J. Brown and giving Romeo Doubs a 4-year deal changed the math. Mac Hollins brings value through physical work. Kyle Williams just finished his rookie year. Kayshon Boutte, despite trade speculation, played more than 90% of his snaps outside last season. Douglas enters a contract year squeezed inside that competition. Pop has already shown he can produce. As a rookie, he caught 49 passes for 561 yards in 14 games, leading New England in receiving yards and finishing second in catches. But the expected leap never came. Last season, career lows of 31 catches and 447 yards left him 5th on the team in yards and 7th in receptions. Brown, Doubs, Hollins, and Williams now appear to have clearer paths to targets, while Hunter Henry commands work inside. Being the main slot receiver helps Douglas. It does not protect him. Efton Chisholm is a real threat because Josh McDaniels keeps involving him. Chisholm played little during the regular season, but 103 of his 127 offensive snaps came from Week 17 through the divisional round. He delivered 4 catches, 95 yards, a touchdown, and even attempted a pass. The sample is too small to declare a breakout. Still, that late usage shows offensive curiosity. McDaniels wants to test that versatility. This battle is about utility, not resumes. Douglas must separate quickly, deliver on 3rd down, and offer something Chisholm cannot reproduce yet. Chisholm brings youth, more years of team control, and room to grow. If the gap is narrow, the Patriots may favor the player with the longer runway. Cold? Absolutely. But good teams cannot reserve roster spots for memories while another player is still ascending. Boutte remains the most logical outside trade candidate because Brown and Doubs occupy that space. The report that New England would accept a 5th-round pick has not created a strong market. Hollins would return less, while Williams has barely started his career. If Boutte leaves, Douglas could rise from 5th to 4th. If Boutte stays, the squeeze tightens. A Douglas trade also looks difficult, perhaps bringing a conditional 7th-rounder or depth player, but nothing valuable enough to force New England to keep him. Camp will be an audition for Pop, not a confirmation ceremony. An injury or dominant stretch could change the entire picture, but a release before the Seattle opener is a real possibility. That does not erase what he accomplished as a rookie. It shows how much the standard rose after Brown, Dobbs, and Chisholm's emergence. Fans spent years demanding more receiver options. Now that the room is crowded, sentiment cannot make this decision. Keep whoever makes Maye's offense hardest to defend. While two receivers fight for space, Christian Gonzalez can gain leverage simply by waiting. I will say it plainly. The Patriots cannot confuse contractual patience with letting the market control negotiations. Gonzalez wants a deal. New England wants to keep him. The delay is not about doubt in the player. It is about the contract Devon Witherspoon could sign in Seattle and what it might do to the entire cornerback market. The corners were drafted 5 spots apart in the 2023 first round and share an agency, Win Sports. According to Ian Rappaport, negotiations are moving together, with Witherspoon apparently closer. Seattle's offer is reportedly near $30 million per year. Gonzalez's camp has no reason to rush. If Witherspoon raises the ceiling first, Gonzalez gets a fresh benchmark to demand more, or, at minimum, put himself atop the position. That strategy makes perfect sense for Gonzalez. He entered as the 17th pick, lost most of his rookie season to injury, then answered with 2 excellent years. At 24, he anchors New England's defense, follows opposing top receivers, and allows under 55% completions in coverage. He is not waiting for anyone to discover his value. He is waiting for another contract to put a new price on what the tape already proves. For the Patriots, every day gives away leverage. If Seattle closes near $30 million annually, talks begin at a new level. New England can accept that price, negotiate guarantees and structure, or move first. It cannot pretend the clock has no cost. A young shutdown corner, developed in-house and willing to stay, is exactly whom financial flexibility should protect. Gonzalez changes the entire defensive menu. When he handles the opponent's best receiver, Mike Vrabel can move help, disguise coverage, and send pressure with more creativity. In an AFC loaded with quarterbacks who punish hesitation, that freedom matters more than any isolated statistic. Without it, the defense has to cover weak points. With it, New England can dictate matchups. Waiting has a case. Witherspoon signing first could prevent a premium without a reference and give both sides a clear structure, but that argument expires. If Seattle approaches $30 million, Gonzalez's floor rises in front of New England. The Patriots cannot control Seattle. They control their urgency. I support caution when it protects the roster, not delay that makes a priority more expensive. Gonzalez is not forcing an exit. The report says he is in no rush to sign. That calm should push the Patriots, not numb them. This franchise has heard for too long that it cannot develop and retain young stars. Now one anchors the heart of the defense entering year 4. Paying at the top will hurt. Letting another team set the price would hurt even more. Witherspoon's deal could knock over the first domino. Every number after that pushes the next one higher. New England must decide whether it wants to join that domino effect or stop it with initiative. When both sides already agree on the destination, letting a Seattle contract map the entire road in Foxborough is not discipline. It is handing away the wheel. Waiting costs more than money. Sometimes it shows up in a knee that still is not cleared a captain to practice. Harold Landry was placed on the physically unable to perform list before training camp. Backup tight end C.J. Dupree joined him, while running back Terrell Jennings opened on the active non-football injury list. All 3 can return at any point this summer once medically cleared. If they cannot pass a physical by cutdown day, moving to reserve PUP means missing at least 4 regular season games. For Landry, this is not paperwork. He led the 2025 Patriots with 8.5 sacks and 19 quarterback hits despite a knee injury that severely limited his playoff run. He started the wildcard win over the Chargers and played 43.4% of defensive snaps. In the divisional round, that fell to 11 plays, or 14.7%. He missed the AFC Championship win over Denver, then returned for 14 Super Bowl snaps against Seattle and recorded 1 quarterback hit. That is a valuable player giving the defense everything his body allowed. It also explains why New England cannot build its pass rush plan around an automatic return to full-strength Landry. The pressure package failed to control the Super Bowl. If the team's sack leader needs more time, other defenders must absorb snaps, win matchups, and keep the front from depending on a perfect recovery. Mike Vrabel prepared everyone in June. Landry missed OTAs and minicamp while recovering, and Vrabel explained that each veteran follows a different plan. Harold had played plenty of football, stayed heavily involved in meetings, workouts, and leadership, and did not need spring reps. No return date was promised. The approach was clear. Preserve him now, demand more later. I respect that plan. July awards no trophies, and burning a veteran's knee for one reassuring practice clip would be irresponsible. But respect does not mean looking away. The PUP designation confirms the process remains open. New England needs real answers in the opening weeks. Who creates pressure if Landry stays limited? How does the rotation work? How much of the captain's burst has returned? Depth now becomes competitive insurance. Dupree is a backup. Jennings has a complementary role. Landry's condition directly affects the defensive ceiling. Open the fan war room in the comments. If Landry needs time, do you control his September workload or demand a full snap count once he is cleared? I choose control. The season is long, and the Patriots do not need to win camp. They need to be whole for the games that decide the AFC. Young players and reserves must attack this opportunity from the first practice. Landry can be cleared anytime, keeping concern in the right place without creating a crisis. Still, last postseason proved partial availability changes games. New England already felt the pass rush fade when it mattered most. This time, the medical staff can set the pace, Vrabel can protect the veteran, and the roster can share the load. Nobody can ignore the risk until it shows up again in January. This camp's message is ruthless. The Patriots cannot protect ambition with hope. Campbell must protect Maye against power. Douglas must win a competition that no longer respects resumes. Gonzalez's negotiation demands initiative before Seattle raises the price. Landry's recovery forces pressure beyond one veteran. New England won the AFC by raising its ceiling. Now every detail threatening to lower it will be judged. Tell me in the comments which answer you demand first, and subscribe to follow camp with us. This community belongs to fans who demand greatness without abandoning the team.